Welcome back, everyone. My name is Siobhan Edwards, and today we'll be discussing three-dimensional art. All right, let's get right into it. Now, 3D refers to a measurement of something in a specific direction. Measurements such as their height, their depth, their width, their length. You would have remembered that when defining shapes, we spoke about shapes being any figure that has two dimensions. The two dimensions that shapes generally have are length and width, and as such, they're considered as 2D, flat. But for 3D, they have an additional dimension, which gives them or turns them into what we call in art forms. Alright, so it refers to a combination of any of the three dimensions. And in visual arts, the pieces are referred to as sculptures. Alright, so let's look a bit more into sculptures. Okay, so a sculpture is basically a three-dimensional piece of art. Alright, it's generally made from the carving technique, casting, or modeling technique, which we're going to explore as we go further. Alright, so it's basically three-dimensional art, sculpture. Now, there are two types of sculpture. You have sculpture in the round and relief sculpture. Relief sculpture is a sculpture that is projecting from a background. For example, a dollar coin. And a sculpture in the round is like a statue, something you can walk right around. Let us discuss it a little bit more. So you have sculpture in the round, a sculpture that can be freestanding, self-supported. In other words, it doesn't need to be hung on a wall or need anybody to hold it up. Like the picture you see there, that's something you can look at all angles on. Alright, from top to bottom, side, wherever. So that's considered as a sculpture in the round. Alright? A relief sculpture now, it's when it's raised from a particular surface. For example, it looks like a picture frame, but it has elements in it that projects outwards. Similar to the shape that you have on the dollar coin, like an embossed shape coming outwards. So that's basically a relief sculpture. Now there are different types of relief. You have high, low, middle relief. Depends on the look that you're going for and the contrast that you want created by the shadows and the depth, etc. The dollar coin would be classified, or the coins would be classified as very low relief. Alright? Now the sculpting techniques. There are generally two sculpting techniques, additive and subtractive. Additive is when you add materials to it to build it, and subtractive is when you take away materials from it. Examples of additive techniques are like modeling, and subtractive techniques are like carving, when you peel away from the surface. Now, an armature is something that is used as a structure whenever you're making a sculpture and the material that you're using isn't firm enough to stand on its own. For example, when we were doing our paper mache mask, we would have used the balloon as an armature because the balloon holds the tissue in place until it was dried. Alright, so the armature can be many things. It can be made of wood, it can be made of wires. For example, when you're doing your 3D assignments, if you want to use a wire frame to make it stand up, a hanger to let it stand up, or even nails to let it stand up, whatever you used and build upon to make it stand up is considered as the armature. Alright? Now, the sculpting methods, as mentioned before, you have carving, casting, and modeling and assembling. Now, if you wish to read up on these, you can do so. It's not definitely important for you to pay close attention to it now, but you can explore them. So, here are some examples that you can use to sculpt. Examples of materials, that is. So, you can use matches, clay, candles, cardboard, flour, tissue, newspaper, bottle caps, bar of soap, wire. A lot of things you can use. Just about anything you can use to sculpt. Now here's an example of a bar of soap. If you look closely, you would see that the name of the soap is still there. But it's very effective, very simple, and neat. Alright? So you can consider that for your technique, for your assignment. Here's the all-time favorite, simple matching stick. It's a good technique to use as well, a good material to use as well. Here's wire. It might not be the best for everybody if you have delicate fingers, but it can definitely get the job done as well. People tend to use matches, I should say, wires as armatures, as the base, as the spine of the piece before they build on it. So for example, what you have right now is the structure of the horse. What you could do, you could use paper mache and build upon the wire to get a fat, nice, plump horse. Cardboard is what I recommend, but it is not mandatory as it is pretty easy to handle and you can get some nice contrasting effects from it on the sculptures. Here are some other examples. Simple. Okay, now bottle caps are a very interesting option as well, even though did I mention them earlier? I don't remember, but bottle caps are a very good option as well. You can get a variety of colors from them, a variety of sizes. Just have fun with them. If you notice, this person built theirs on a armature because they had to use something, a piece of wood, as the structure for the bottle caps to hold on. You can see some very interesting designs here. Now, paper mache. We have some experience with paper mache. What you can use for paper mache is the newspaper, the tissue, the regular paper, whatever you have. You just tear the paper and make it into a paste with glue and water or even cornstarch to get it done. Now, if you wish to learn more about any of these techniques, you can always do a research or ask me some questions if you wish. And finally, flour. You can use flour. If you have no other option, you can use regular counter flour. Just knead it and add a little salt in it to prevent insects from eating it. And then you go all the way. Go all the way and just enjoy yourself with the assignment. If your sculpture is small enough, you can always boil it if possible for it to harden and stay in shape. But if not, you just take the photo of it and send it to me when you're through. Alright, so here's your assignment. You're going to create a 3D art piece using any suitable material that can be used to teach the highlighted section of the curriculum that applies to you. The type of sculpture and the technique you use is totally up to you. So if you want to use the additive or subtractive technique, that's fine. If you want to use the modeling, casting, or assembling technique, that's fine. You can read up on those techniques and do the assignment. So you are required to provide the topic for the lesson, and as you have no more than 100 words explaining how it would be used, no more than 200 words, sorry, explaining how it would be used in your lesson. Now, it can be a lot less, it can be 50, it can be 100, you choose, but don't go over 200 words, please. And 5 pictures of the sculpture at different stages from start to finish, alright? And then 3 pictures of the completed sculpture from 3 different angles. So I want to see top, bottom, and side, alright? Okay, so here's the early childhood section of the curriculum. Alright, so you're going to create a 3D piece that can be used to teach this section of the curriculum. I recommend you pause the video here, make your notations, and then move forward. Here's the primary section. Same goes for you. You're going to create a 3D piece that can be used to teach this section of the curriculum. Alright, pause the video, make your jottings, and make your notes. Alright, so that's all, guys. If you have any questions or concerns, you may send me an email at chevronedwards@gmail.com or you can shoot me a WhatsApp message. There's no problem there. Alright, thanks for watching. Have a good day and be productive. All the best. Bye-bye.